Well, hello there. I've got a special announcement this week before we get started. We have opened up enrollment for the Transformation ReBoot program for the month of October. If you guys feel like you could use some coaching, accountability, and support from an amazing community heading into this holiday season, then head on over to millionpoundmission.com and start your free 10-day trial of the Transformation ReBoot membership. Our next enrollment period won't be until January, so start your 10-day free trial today and set yourself up so that this holiday season, you can lose weight instead of losing your momentum. What's up, podcast fans? This is a very special episode of the Million Pound Mission podcast, where you're going to get to listen in as I do a strategy session with one of my coaching clients for my Transformation ReBoot program. The goal of each one of these strategy sessions is to help my client identify, analyze, and prepare ahead for their top transformation danger zones. If you think that you could benefit from a coaching session like this, you can head on over to millionpoundmission.com and check out all of the information on my Transformation ReBoot membership. Now, let's dive into the episode. All right, Robin, welcome to your hot seat session. What would you like to focus on this time?
Actually, I want to discuss intermittent fasting and my exercise.
All right, cool. Well, let's start with intermittent fasting. What, is it a combo question about both at the same time?
Not necessarily.
All right, let's start with intermittent fasting.
Okay, I've been doing it since probably the end of May when the last time I fell off for a week. I've been on pretty much except for planned cheats since then. So I feel like I'm, got some momentum going there. But I went to the cardiologist a week or so ago. Everything's fine. He was very happy with my weight loss.
Good.
He gave me a 6-pound goal and I had lost, I think he said 20 since I've seen him.
Good.
So I was happy with that too. But he said that I should not be feeling hungry if I'm doing intermittent fasting correctly. Is that?
No, not true.
Okay.
That's why that's why he's a cardiologist. If he's like, well, your heart's all jacked up and this intermittent, then we could talk. But yeah.
Well, I mentioned it to him because the TED Talk that I can't remember who posted, that was one of the things. They were like, if you have heart issues, I wouldn't recommend intermittent fasting. Well, I don't really have necessarily heart issues, but since I was at the cardiologist, I figured, what the heck, I might as well ask. Yeah. And he was like, no, that's for severe, your extra heartbeat's not a big deal. I said, okay, just making sure. So, so that's another thing is, does the window, like varying it occasionally? Because I'm usually like 8 to 9 hours. Is that?
Yeah. I mean, as far as like your eating window is 8 to 9 hours.
Yes.
Yeah. I think, hedging it a half an hour either direction, I think that's fine. And yeah, as long as it's not like I fast for, 16 hours one day and I fast for 8 hours the next day. Like, you just don't want giant swings. But I think if you're within like a half an hour range either end, I think that's your body likes that repetition, especially with intermittent fasting. That's going to be good. But yeah, I wouldn't stress out too much about that. That sounds just fine.
Okay, and then next question about it is the third meal of the day. Sometimes I'm getting that kind of in late, depending on how bad traffic was, if I do my exercise that night, if we have a Zoom chat. There's lots of variables with that. Is it better to eat the third meal even though it's out of the window, or just not eat?
I mean, I with you, we've been working on getting more calories in. So I think eating is important. Yeah. I would eat it for sure. And just think about like, all right, maybe. So like like on those days we know it's going to be a late night, maybe you strategize and say, all right, meal 1 is going to be the biggest meal. And then meal 2, instead of having a snack, I'm going to eat a little bit more. And that way it's just a lighter, like something you can eat on the way home, like a snack that's easier and just finish off the day versus, trying to cram in a giant meal at the end of the day. So just be strategic with your, the way you're distributing your nutrition on those days that it's going to be a little bit later. And that way it's a little bit easier to to manage and more efficient for your schedule.
Okay.
Easy enough.
Let's see. That brought up something else. What was it? Darn it. I thought of it while you were talking, and now I forgot.
It'll come back. So, and then just to circle back around on the whole like being hungry thing, I feel like being hungry is independent of like actually like what label of nutrition plan you're using. Like I feel like you can get hungry no matter what nutrition plan you're using. It's not necessarily a bad thing or a good thing. It's a thing. It's our body is telling us something, and then trying to figure out like what is it telling us of. Does that mean we're low on nutrition? Does it mean we're low on calories? Does it mean it's just time to eat? Like when I do intermittent fasting, when it comes to that start of that window, my tummy starts growling because it knows like, okay, food is coming down the pipeline. I start thinking about it. And a lot of it is just the mental trigger of, okay, I know food is coming, and my stomach starts agreeing and saying yes. And they're communicating. So I don't feel like anybody should say, well, you shouldn't be hungry. And maybe they meant like not starving, or, there's a lot of, vagueness about that statement that could be taken the wrong way. So yeah, I wouldn't stress out about that at all.
Well, there are some mornings that by like 8:30, my stomach is growling, and I don't eat my first meal until 11:30 or 12 most of the time.
Yeah.
So that I can get dinner in with the family.
Yeah.
So, and I do drink water. I started drinking a bottle of water on the way to work to get extra water in. I average pretty much every day now 77 ounces.
Good.
Which is still not enough, I know, but it's much better than the 20 I used to get. So.
Exactly.
So I'm not going to beat myself up about it, because I know it used to be a lot worse.
Yeah.
What I thought of is I've been doing my MyFitnessPal with my calories this week, and I've not stressed out over it.
Good.
It got a little hairy the other night when we went out to dinner trying to figure out what fit into. And MyFitnessPal says I need 1,800 calories. I've actually been averaging 1,600 to 17, almost 1,800.
Okay, good.
This week.
Good.
So better than I was before. It used to be like 1,200 to 1,300. So I am better than the last time I used it. So once I get the 2 weeks, though, I'll send you. Do you want how do you want me to send that to you? Do you want like a spreadsheet that shows the calories and
all I need
protein,
is
fats?
Just send me the averages. You don't have to send me all the data. Just average it out and just say average calories, average protein, average carbs, average fat, and that's all I need. Simple.
Okay.
Simple. And with MyFitnessPal too, like don't put too much weight on the recommendation, because that's like super general. It's like they'll take your body weight and age and be like, well, you need to eat blah blah blah. And it's like just totally like, I'm not gonna say random, but it's not real reliable. Like I wouldn't base your plan off of what MyFitnessPal tells you to eat.
Yeah.
But I'm good. That's a much better calorie range than what we had in the past. So that's good.
Mm-hmm.
And let's. I think your body could respond well to a few things that we could do once we have that data. So it's a good thing. So that's good. Yeah, keep doing that. I'm proud of you for not stressing out about it and just getting that data. Like I said, as a coach, once you give me that information, we can do different things with that and different levels of intensity. So I can map out 4 or 5 options and be like, if we did this, this is what it would look like. If we did that, that's what it would look like. And then you can just choose, and you have all those options available and be like, well, I've got a thing coming up. I want to get a little extra intense focus. So I'm going to do this plan that Adam laid out for me. So you give me the data and I can create some stuff out of that.
Okay. I am still using your classic plan.
Okay.
I've just shoved the snacks into the 3 meals.
Yeah, perfect.
So I put like my afternoon snack in with my breakfast.
Perfect.
And then my, how is that? No, the morning snack and breakfast together, and afternoon snack and lunch together. And then my dinner is just my dinner. I didn't add anything to it. So, okay. Well, I'll just keep plugging along.
Keep plugging along with that. Now, what exercise question did you have? I don't want you to forget that.
The exercise, I have been slacking lately. I will completely admit that. I did better yesterday. I did a walk yesterday. And so far this morning, I did 2 days of the 28-day blitz.
Good.
So I am getting back on track a little bit better with that. But what should I be shooting for? Because I know that there's that happy medium between not enough and too much that will also affect the scale.
Yeah. I mean, we definitely want to look at minimum effective dose. because I don't need you doing it every day. I want at least one day complete recovery. Um, I mean, I'd love to see you get 3 hours of activity in every week,
Okay.
and whether that's split up over 6 days or split up over 3 days. I would like, okay, so let's just talk real broad terms. I would like you to have exercise at least 3 days per week and a total of 3 hours per week minimum. So what I don't want you to do is exercise for 3 hours for one day, things like that. So it needs to meet both those criteria as just kind of like a baseline goal. Like, I got to exercise for 3 days. I need to get in a total of 3 hours, 3 days minimum, but one day has to be a complete rest day. I'd really like two. All right.
Okay.
So
I was thinking 5, so that's right in the 2 rest day. And I've been doing either 2 or 3 of your 28-day blitz days.
Nice.
And I want to start adding in like at least a 15-minute walk with that too, because I just feel like I need that.
Yep. Yeah, and you can use that.
I do, but I feel like I do.
Yeah. So, and the ways we can kind of manipulate that are just some food for thought. When you're doing my interval training bodyweight workouts, that's going to spike your heart rate. So that's good. I would walk after that. If you walk directly after that, your heart rate's already elevated. You're burning more calories while you walk. Or even if you walk like at night, if you do the interval training in the morning, walk at lunch or at night, you're still going to burn more calories. So walking anytime after the interval training, you get more benefits out of the walking. All right.
Okay.
So that's something to consider. But also, if you feel like the bodyweight workouts are like, if you need to feel more warmed up for those, then you can walk right before you do that. So if you want to feel more warmed up, walk first. If you want to burn more calories, burn more fat, walk after. So that's the general rule.
I've been walking after, because you mentioned that a while back to me, that I would get more out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm at this point, I need all I can get I need the biggest bang for my buck, because I am feeling better. I know I'm looking better, but I don't look like I want to.
Yeah.
So,
I'm always going to be on you to stay out of the trap of I'm not there yet. Like you're doing better with your gratitude and all that stuff. So that's good. But no, we're making good progress. And you mentioned a couple of times just in the last, 10 minutes that better than before. You said that like 2 or 3 times, and I like that a lot. Like, water is better than before. Calories better than before. This is the mindset shift we need to make. So that's really good. And, part of my job as your coach is to keep, things in perspective and keep reminding you that we are making good improvements. And the only way that we get there is to be here and execute with the plan that we've got and be better than you were yesterday. So that's and that's the exact path that you're taking. And I'm really excited about that. And and you're, just keep on staying plugged in, stay in front of the weekly chats, the hot seats, and, you do a good job plugging into the group and communicating there. And I think that we just keep chugging along and we're figuring things out. That's nice too. Like, I can tell getting some confidence, like intermittent fasting a year ago, if I'm like, I want you to do intermittent fasting, that's going to be pretty intimidating for you. But now you're like, it's kind of your jam. It's becoming your jam. You're getting in a flow with it. So I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's definitely neat to be able to see it. And, some people are now noticing, they're like, hey, look, but the intermittent fasting, I don't know that it's really helped with the weight loss. I really haven't seen any difference in that. But I know the science behind it, thanks to Alexa.
Yeah.
So, that kind of like made me, more want to try it for that, because it's a healthier thing for my body.
Well, I think also, I think it is, it's not hurting your weight loss for sure. As long as we get the right amount of calories in, that's the only thing I'm worried about. But I think about just like healing your metabolism, doing intermittent fasting, getting a good amount of calories in, those two things combined, we're going to heal your metabolism. The fact that you're getting some hunger signals, I think, is a good sign. And, that's when your body finally says, okay, we're healed, we're good. That's when you're going to start seeing some very predictable weight loss results, which I know that you're anxious to get to. It's still kind of random, but that's the point that we're working towards, and we're going to get you there. Like, I'm super confident. If you keep marching along the path that you're marching on now, we're going to get to that zone, and it's going to happen sooner than later.
Well, I'm excited for that because I weigh once a week. I know you want the 2 weeks, but I used to weigh once a day. So I
Better
feel
than
like
before. I'll say it for you. Better than
better than
before.
before. So but the last 3 weeks I've pretty much weighed the same. And
Yep.
it's kind of still, it's just like, it doesn't affect me per se what I'm going to eat that day, but it does affect my mindset some that, it's like, it's another week of staying on plan
Yep.
that, just didn't, and that's why I'm like, what am I not doing? Or, but, as I've said before, I've been on weight loss plans since I was in elementary school.
Yep.
So, it's always been an issue for me. It's always been hard for me. It's never been I see people, go on plans and the weight just falls off of them. And I'm
Yeah.
just like, oh, you don't know how lucky you are.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's not something that you can control. And, it's even if you have a 2 or 3, 4 weeks where you are in maintenance mode, like right now, I feel like we're in healing mode, and that's okay. Like I said,
Yeah.
once we get things patched back up to where your metabolism's really revved up and your body feels, healed and good, I think that you're gonna do some serious damage. So it's not like you lost a week of, like, if you're eating healthy, you're moving, you're doing your gratitude, like there's a lot of progress being made, even if the
Yeah.
scale says net zero. So I think you're on the right path, my friend.
Yeah, I told Tamara the other day yesterday when I weighed in, I was like, well, another week of weighing exactly the same. I said, but maybe this means I'll be really great this time at maintenance.
Yeah, exactly. You're crushing maintenance.
Yay.
Well, cool. Well, I said, I think you got a lot of good things going on. We got some serious wins going. We have good momentum, great mindset shifts. And like I said, we just need to keep marching the same path. And I got your back every step of the way, my friend. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. If you're someone that has been sucked into that black hole of weight loss doom, where you lose that weight, you gain it back over and over and over again, I would love to help you out by providing you with some coaching, a rock solid monthly game plan, and I'm going to plug you into an amazing transformation tribe of like-minded people. Head on over to millionpoundmission.com and get all of the information on my Transformation ReBoot membership. See you on the next episode.